of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Time this button. Today's professional broadcasting tip: clear your gosh darn throat before you hit the streaming button. Because it's always good to have a clear throat when you're talking on camera in front of 5 people or whatever. Hi, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this February 9th, 2021. Our 1949 replay has played both April and May, so about 6 weeks into the season. And so we've reached June 1st, and we start June on a rainy afternoon in Brooklyn at Ebbets Field between the Brooklyn Dodgers and St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are 26-14. This is game number 41 for them, and they are a half game behind the Philadelphia Phillies. The Brooklyn Dodgers, if you were with us last night, split a doubleheader with the New York Giants for Memorial Day. They played yesterday, and I forgot who won that one, but the Dodgers are now 23-19. So they're playing about .530 ball. They need to do better because the Cardinals and Phillies, as we start really the bulk of the summer here, are absolutely on fire, and so are the Yankees and the Senators and the National League. Someone wanted a Preacher-O game last night. Well, they're going to get it today because he's on the hill for the Dodgers. He's looking for his 6th win of the year, while Harry the Cat Brazil, I'm sure I messed that one up, is on the hill for St. Louis. A good pitching matchup here on a warm rainy afternoon in Brooklyn. So grab a Nathan's, find yourself a nice cold beverage, and let's do this, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1949. Today, from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, it is the Brooklyn Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports replay and simulation needs. Find us today on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Why look at the camera while you're looking at a slide? I don't know. Just a case of bad habits, I guess. And so, Preacher-O, Shad, which would be a fish name, because roe, obviously, is fish eggs. There you go. So Shad is 34 years old. Fastball tops out at 82 and is a fly ball plus pitcher. That's just 1 plus. Making his 7th start of the year. He last pitched on the 27th of May against the Braves, where he got a win. 9 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 8. So overall, 52 2/3 innings, 50 hits, 6 homers, 20 runs are all earned. He has walked 14 and struck out 28. He beat these Cardinals on the 19th of May. 8 innings, struck out 4, allowed 9 hits. And so that would be his lone appearance against the Cardinals on the replay. He is a left-hander. Here's a lineup he'll face for the Cardinals. Chuck D-Ring leads off in center field. Red Schoendienst will bat second and play second. Stan Musial is in right. He'll go third. Kazik is at third. He'll clean up. Hank Sauer is in left. He'll bat 5th. Marty Marion, how you doing, Mr. Angels? The shortstop will bat 6th. And Marty had a big to-do over at baseballfever.com about his 44 MVP being cheap. He didn't like that in any way whatsoever. Nippy Jones is at first. He'll bat 7th. Del Rice behind the plate, not Joe Garagiola. He'll bat 8th. And Brazil, the pitcher, will bat 9th and should throw about 130 pitches. Mike McCormick is in left for the Dodgers as we set their defense. He's a 2 and a 4. Duke Snyder, who hit 2 home runs in that doubleheader last night, a 9 and an 8 in center. And Carl Furillo in the lineup today, he's an 8 and a 10 in right field. And yep, this Dodgers defense is quite good. Mixus is a 5 at third. Pee Wee Reese a 9 at short. Jackie Robinson an 8 at second. And Gil Hodges is a 9 at first. Roy Campanella, who was the hero in Game 2 of the doubleheader, a 9 and a 6 behind the plate. And Preacher Rowe is a 6 range with a 944 fielding percentage. So there you go. It is raining lightly here. The wind is blowing from right to left at 11 and 80 degrees on this first day of June, 1949. Deering steps in at 304, no homers, and 7 RBI. Rowe winds and deals, strike 3. An 0-2 inside curveball at the knees, and that's how this one starts. Brings up Shane Dienst at 305, a homer, and 18 RBI. Our best to Lorenzo, who will be helping take care of his mom for the next week, so he won't be in any of these games. But we're thinking of you. And when the Dodgers lose in excruciating fashion, open up a Maldito, okay? Pitch to Shane Dienst. Does a fly ball to left. McCormick should have it. He does. 2 out for Musial. Stand at 306. 8 homers and 30 RBI. Rowe deals. Up the middle, Pee-wee leaps and makes the catch. How about that? A diving stop to his left, our right, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After half an inning, it's the Cardinals nothing. The Dodgers coming up, and it's Al Brazil. Al looks about 9,000 in that picture. He is 3-2 on the year, making his 8th start, and a 2.91 ERA. He is 35 years old. He is a fastball pitcher at 82 and favors neither the fly nor the ground ball. Nickname of Cotton. Last pitched on the 27th of May, a 10-inning no decision against the Pirates. Allowed 8 hits. 1 run it was earned, and he struck out 2. He faced the Dodgers on May 9th and lost 8 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs all earned. He walked 2 that day and struck out 4. Overall, 65 innings, 59 hits, 5 homers, 24 runs, 21 earned. He walked 16 and struck out 20. And this will be the lineup that he'll face. Pee Wee Reese leads off at short. Mike McCormick in left will bat second. Carl Furillo is in right. He'll hit third. Jackie Robinson cleans up at second. Gil Hodges at first will bat fifth. Thanks for the sub, my friend. Duke Snyder will bat sixth and play center field. He had a couple dingers in that doubleheader last night, too. Roy Campanella behind the plate will bat seventh. Mixis at third will bat eighth. And Preacher Rowe, who threw all of 9 pitches for the Dodgers in the first, will bat ninth. If the Dodgers have a weak spot, it is in left and third. There's no real consistency there, but this team is just loaded. Hank Sauer, speaking of loaded teams, defensively for the Cardinals is a 1 and a 4 and left. Chuck Deering is a 6 and a 6. Brazel, okay. No, I take your word for that. Stan Musial is a 9 and a 7 in right. Kazak, that's the one I struggle with. He's a 7 at third. Marty Marion a 9 at short. Well, thanks for watching. Red Shane Dienst is a 9 at second. Nippy Jones is a 6 at first. Del Rice and 5 and a 4 behind the plate. And Brazel, okay, sounds like a Dairy Queen hamburger, is a 6 on the mound with a 9.56 fielding percentage. So Pee-wee steps in at 2. Kasich, okay. Pee-wee steps in at 282, 4 homers and 27 RBI. Brazel's ready. And between the raindrops he delivers, popped up Marty Marion on the grass, 1 out. So here's McCormick. Mike at 220, no homers, and 8 RBI. As we start this 1st of June, the Phillies are in first place 1 year early by a half game over the Cardinals. The Dodgers, not out of it by any means, but this isn't their Yo, you're welcome on the podcast, too. We're going to talk about pre-plays, one-offs, and tributes tomorrow. Well, don't forget. It's all an imagination anyway. Hey, so apparently it's raining. Don't question what Mr. Roker says. That's what the icon on the upper right says. Pitch to McCormick. There's a fly ball to right. Musial by the bullpens makes the catch. 2 out for Furillo at 298. 8 homers and 43 RBI. Brazel winds and deals. Up the middle, that's a base hit. D-Ring will pick it up. Furillo will hold it first. And that's the first hit of the ball game. Brings up Jackie Robinson at 371. 3 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch. There's a base hit into right center field. Furillo will hold at second. So, first and second, 2 out. Over, under, 1 hitter hits the Abe Stark sign. Now, hit that for a suit. I believe that is where, right about where Stan Musial's block is. I think you had to hit the field for that, right? Where Ebbets would be in right center field is the old Schaefer sign. The beer to have when you're having more than one. And that had a H and an E that lit up. H obviously for a hit and an E for an error. So that would be very hard to hit that on the fly, which I'm sure Abe Stark was and his family were considering. So good luck with that. I'll go with the under. Here's Hodges, 329. Gill is 5 homers and 29 RBI. 2 out, 2 on, first inning. Fly ball, right field. Musial makes the catch, and that will retire the side. Dodgers strand 2. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We've played 1, no score. Kasich. How you doing, Big Clue? At 281, 2 homers and 21 RBI. Rowe threw 9 pitches in the first, and Brazel threw 10. Kasich lines it to third, 1 out. And that brings up, it's Eddie Sauer, not Hank. Eddie at 233, no homers and 4 RBI. Just the start of things here on a Tuesday afternoon. Tomorrow night, Red Sox and Indians for you. And then Thursday noon will be St. Louis in Boston to play the Braves. So that's what we got for you from the 49 replay this week. Pitch to Sauer is a fly ball to right. Furillo in the corner makes the catch. 2 out. And so Marty Marion had a long chat with Dick Young in the Daily News this morning, knowing that this was going to be a national broadcast, defending his 44 NL MVP, hitting .310, 5 homers, and 24 RBI. Said some members of that Cincinnati press corps are just extremely jealous. Not sure why he would single that one out, but he did. Just saying. Pitch to Marion is a base hit up the middle. He's digging for 2. He's in there. That's his 10th double of the year. Oh, Dick Young was a member of the New York City Corps. Yeah. Daily News, right? News of the Post. Probably one of those ones like Jimmy Breslin who would bounce around from paper to paper. And we'll just get this in right early. If you're talking about Jimmy Breslin, you are not talking in a Fortnite stream for sure. Here's Nippy Jones at 389, a homer, and 23 RBI. 2 out, first hit for the Cardinals. Pitch to Jones. There's a base hit right or left field. Marion will round third. McCormick will throw for the plate. Marion's going to try and score. Campanella got him! Marion slid, and Campanella had the ball waiting. Touch them all. That's the end of the inning. No runs. 2 hits and 1 left on. Bottom 2, no score. So a 38% chance of getting the out. JT Dutch, it has been a while. Hope you are well. JT, the star of some franchise Hockey Manager 7 action. Done a couple guest shots with a friend. That's fun. Here's Duke Snider. Duke at 280. 8 homers and 24 after RBI. And good morning to JT Dutch because he's out on the coast. Brazel into right field. Usual going way back there. It's gone. Oh, baby. Snider got all of that one. And all Stan could do was turn and watch it go. His 9th of the year. And it's 1-0 Dodgers. On to Bedford Avenue. I thought it was McKeever, but anyway, that ball was well struck. And somebody's house, apartment, yeah, the Duke sent one to Queens. Where Robert Moses says, you want to stay, right? But that's not the story for now. So, yeah. So 1-0 on the homer from Snider. Here's Campanella. Roy at 283. 9 homers and 29 RBI. And it's a left field porch that sees more homers, not necessarily the right. Pitch to Campy is a fly ball to left. Sauer's going back there, and the Dodgers go back-to-back. Campanella puts one in the upper deck and left, and it's 2-0 Brooklyn. So Brazel just sits there in the rain and scratches his head. So this is the 7th time these two teams have met in 49, and the Dodgers lead it 4-2. Here's Mixis. He's at 289 and 1 RBI. There's a ground ball to Marion over to first for the out. I wonder why, because most of the ads on the wall here at this iteration of Ebbets are accurate. See the Van Heusen shirts, the gem razors, the boot polish, the tires, the watches. But for whatever reason, they didn't go with the Schaefer ad or the Abe Stark sign. Here's Preacher Rowe at 100 with hitting 100 with 3 RBI. Pitch from Brazel. Got him. First strikeout. He swings and misses at an 0-2 fastball at 83, and there's 2 out. So the opening 9 for Al on 20 pitches. An inning and 2/3. 4 hits. 2 solo shots. Snider and Campanella back-to-back. And a strikeout. Pee-wee is 0 for 1. Pitch to Reese. There's a base hit left center field. D-Ring will pick it up. Pee-wee will hold at first, and Brazel was hurt. He's going to stay in the game, but he tweaked something on the last pitch. So the Dodgers are pretty much in a good spot right now. Yep. We talked about this a bit earlier, but you're absolutely right. It was ingenious that the H and the E in the Schaefer ad designated whether a play was a hit or an error. Yes. They must have some sort of equivalent now at Dodger Stadium. And I'm surprised more teams didn't do that. Because even most businesses usually have an H or an E in the title somewhere. Throw to first, Pee-wee back. Is this a mod ballpark or is it easy to get in the game? I don't know. I don't remember where I got this park. It's a mod park. If it's a drawing and you see it, it's a mod park. There is some older stadiums have default pictures. This one doesn't. If you go back into my channel, though, if you just search for modding action PC baseball, you'll see a video that I did a while ago that shows you how to do it, and it has not changed. And if you're not a member of the Action PC community, you should be, because a lot of this stuff is over there already and on the forums. So McCormick is 0 for 1. Reese on first. He stays. The pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Marion takes it to the bag at second, and that will retire the side. But the Dodgers get 2 solo homers from Duke Snyder and Roy Campanella on 3 hits and no errors. We go to third here in Brooklyn. It's 2-0 Dodgers. So Rice, Brazel, and Deering. And Dell at 282, a homer, and 9 RBI. Rose starts the third. Winds and deals. Liner to third. Mixus is there, 1 out. 81 degrees. Elvis is wearing his sunglasses. Can't see, it's pretty dark. Oh, a lot of these companies I don't think do enough advertising of their products. There's a lot of good games out there, and Action PC is right up there on the top of the list. So thanks, and I'm sure Mr. Cook will appreciate that as well. Here is Brazel. He is 1 for 26 on the year. That's a single, a run scored, and he has grounded into a double play. Pitch from Rowe. There's a fly ball to right. Ferrillo makes the catch, 2 out. So first 9 for Preacher and 20 on 27 pitches. 2 2/3 innings, 2 hits and a strikeout. Deering struck out to start the ballgame. Oh, wow. Elvis chimes in. I forgot that when a Dodger hit a home run, they would send 1,000 free lucky strikes to a nearby vets facility. There'd be plenty of those in the mid-50s. He remembers Vin Scully and Al Helfer making those comments. A home run for Roy Campanella. And the 3rd Avenue Armory here in Brooklyn gets 1,000 free lucky strikes. There. That a reasonable facsimile? There's a YouTube channel as D-Ring is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to the left. McCormick comes in to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 3, 2-0 Dodgers. And Brazel is recovered. There is a classic baseball on the radio YouTube channel. And whoever has this stuff must have gotten it from an estate in the Albany, New York area. Because the Dodger games, when they were in Brooklyn, were on WGY. And the Yankee games were on WOKO higher up on the AM dial. Yeah. And so a lot of that stuff is there. It's not every game, of course. And he's actually uploading some new ones this week. But very cool to have, and that's where you... Such an intimate way to listen. Just the announcer and you. Although I don't mind color guys on the radio, but Vinny was the master of just talking to you. Ferrillo, by the way, singled his first time up. Yeah, baseball on the radio. Yep, good follows. Absolutely. Pitch to Ferrillo is a base hit right field. Musial will pick it up. Jackie Robinson singled his first time up. The Dodgers, this game would have been on television, too. It would have been Red Barber, Connie Desmond, and it wouldn't have been Scully yet. It's too early. And if they were playing this live on the radio back in St. Louis, Harry Carey, and it's not Jack Buck yet. Separate together. There we go. Yep. Just an announcer, you, and a few 100,000 strangers. Yeah, the original 2020. You'll be always glad to know that when I do these streams, I wear pants. Here's Jackie. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Of course, the game would not have been on television in St. Louis. I'm not even sure that St. Louis was connected to the television networks. Heitert Angel says, I played Strat board and PC over the years. MLB The Show, no OTP, but now getting into action. Yeah, they don't advertise enough. By the way, if you bought something from Strat the last couple months, you might want to check to see if your card was compromised or not. And you can't blame Strat, but someone hacked into them. I saw some place where someone had $6,000. Yeah, really. And fraudulent charges on their card. So, yeah, double check. JT says, I miss the solo style a lot. It seems like now the 2 or 3 guys in the broadcast today are talking to one another, and I'm eavesdropping. You can be really good with it. I thought Bob Murphy and Gary Thorne and Gary Cohen were really good. That's true. That Strat's tech was still in the CD-ROM age, haha. That there would be some interaction with each other, but primarily on the game itself and you, the audience. So I should do that. Robinson takes a ball for ball 4. So 2 on and nobody out for Hodges, who's 0 for 1. Brazel has recovered from whatever ailed him in the second. There's a base hit in the left field. Sauer will pick it up. Furillo will round third and try and score. The throw to Rice is in time. They got him. And you make that first out at home. You don't want to do that, but he had a full head of steam. So 1 out. Robinson and Hodges on. Snyder at the plate. You can play through APC online. You need to have Hamachi, I think, to do it. It's possible. I've never done it. But there are, especially in football, the draft leagues where they have people play against each other. Snyder hit that solo shot to right. No, that's in Hibachi, Mr. Hartung. That's in Hibachi, not Hamachi. Pitch to Snyder, and it gets away from Rice, and everybody moves up 90. So the wild pitch in Brazel is going to need a trip to Dairy Queen after this. 3-1 the count. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the third, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Snyder takes ball 4, and so they're loaded for Roy Campanella, who slugged his 10th home run of the year into the upper deck in left field his first time up. So Robinson on third, Hodges on second, and Snyder on first. Here's the pitch. Slow roller to Kasich. To Shane Deans for 1. Over to first. I believe they've turned it. Did they turn it? Yes, they do. They get out of it. Brazel got out of it. Go get a hand dip creamy. Or soft serve for those of you in the rest of the country. So the Dodgers do not score. We go to the 4th, 2-0 Brooklyn. So Shane Deans, Musial, and Kasich to face Rowe here in the 4th. Elvis does it with a buddy. A creamy, Creemee. It's what the rest of you heathens called soft serve. We call it a creamy. So here are the standings. Philadelphia by a half game over St. Louis. Oh, I plan on it. Brad says, alienate 90% of your audience. Okay, if you want. Matt says, you call it soda, we call it pop. Yeah, in the South they call everything Coke, too. Never called it pop. Philly by a half game over St. Louis, 3.5 over New York, and Brooklyn is 4 back. Be a big win for them if they can do this. Then the Braves, Pirates, Cubs, and the Reds. The Reds, by the way, are 2-22 on the road. American League, the Yankees have won 9 of 10. They lead the Senators by a game and a half. Then Cleveland by 6, Philadelphia by 6.5, Detroit by 7. The Red Sox may not be moving to Montreal after all. They're 9 back. And then St. Louis and Chicago will still argue about who gets the Cardinals. There's only 2 out of the 16 teams in baseball with winning records on the road. The Yankees and the Senators. Everyone else is under 500. Yep. Cardinals are the 650 winning percentage, and the Phillies at 644. So 2-0 here. Here's Shane Deans. He's 0 for 1. There's a ground ball to first. Hodges to the bag for the out. 1 away. So here's Stan the man. He's 0 for 1. Rose pitch. Popped up. Left side. Reese. 2 out. Kasich. Not a member of the Cars. That's all I remember. 0 for 1. Eddie. Looking dapper on that picture. Ground ball to Reese. By the bag. Over to first, and that will retire the side. Cards go in order. Bottom of the 4th inning here. 2-0 Brooklyn. So Mixus. You got the senior citizen Brazel and the babyface Mixus at the plate. Eddie's 0 for 1. There's a base hit in the left field. And that's the 8th Dodger hit. That brings up the Preacher, who struck out his first time up. Kasich and Jones play for the bunt. Throw to first, and Mixus is back. Oh, we're going to do that, are we? Well, then guess what we're doing? You give me an 83% chance to steal. I'm stealing. There goes the runner. The throw to Shane Deans, and they got him! Oh, 83% is down 100, and Mixus is out on a close call. Shane Deans had the ball, and in one fell swoop made the tag. Wowzers, and the count is a ball and no strikes to Rowe. So Rice looks down at his dugout and gives it a good wink. Pitch. Strike 3. He swings and misses on a 1-2 curve. 2 out. Wow. So that brings up Pee Wee. He's 1 for 2. Brazel, 50 pitches through 18. 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits. The solo shots to Snyder and Campanella. Those are the lone runs of the ballgame. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Pee Wee up the middle. That should be extra bases. Deering throws it into Marion, and that is extra bases. That's Pee Wee's 10th double of the year. And that brings up McCormick. Just notice, didn't notice this last night because he played in one of the games, Mike McCormick is giving a good audition there for a DMV photo, don't you think? Nice expression there. I'd rather be any place else than getting my picture taken right now. McCormick, slow roller to Marion over to first for the out. What was Preacher's real first name? I know we've talked about it, and I forget what it is. So that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Elwin, okay. Eddie Sauer, Marty Marion, and Nippy Jones coming up. 2-0 Brooklyn. As we start the top of the 5th, it's still raining here, lightly. Sauer is 0 for 1. Into left center field. Snyder, 1 out. So here's Marty Marion. Marty hit his 10th double of the year. His first time up. One of the 2 hits for the Cardinals. Got him. A 2-2 on the outside corner for strike 3, and there's a guffaw from the press box. JT, says he thinks it was Rowe who said, never win 20 games, or they'll expect you to do it every year. Yeah. You don't, they cut your salary. Nippy Jones singled his first time up. 2 out, top the 5th. That would be you. Dare I ask the press box? Yes. And Elvis says, preaching to the choir. Pitch to Jones is a line drive to left and gone. That is a rocket to left field, and it's 2-1. That's his second of the year. That was just hung out over the middle of the plate, and that was still rising when it hit the facade. You know who they should name that after? Peter Gammons. The baseball writer's career excellence in sports writing. That's a mouthful. I can understand if Spink wrote a whole bunch of bad things about the Negro Leagues or something like that, because you do need to be inclusive. But Gammons, Roger Angel, who's still with us. There's so many who have made baseball writing an art that if you're going to change the name of an award, you can at least name it for someone that people might know. I mean, if you asked 100 baseball fans, and if you say Ford Frick, how many are going to know who Ford Frick was? Pitch to Rice, who's 0 for 1. There's a ground ball to Reese over to Hodges, and that will retire the side. Halfway home on a Tuesday afternoon, the Cardinals get a solo shot from Jones. It's 2-1 Brooklyn. Yes, the Baseball Writers Association really does enjoy their tapioca pudding and oatmeal. Baseball is 2 words. And yeah, we were pretty blessed up here, JT Gammons and Bob Ryan. And Jackie McMullen, if you're a basketball fan. Will McDonough. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. Carl Furillo has a 10-game hitting streak. He singled in the first. Marty Marion doubled in the second. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. Duke Snyder was the first one to get on the board. He had a solo shot down the line and right to make it 1-0. Campanella hit one off the deck in the left field to make it 2-0, his 10th of the year. Brooklyn failed to score after having 2 hits and 2 walks. Cappy hit into a double play, and then the Cardinals got on the board with a solo shot from Nippy Jones to make it 2-1. Oh, don't get me started on curly hair boy. When Shaughnessy wants to write, he's very, very good. But 90% of his stuff the last 20 years sounds like that he needed to take some bran flakes or something like that. No one was more disappointed that the Red Sox finally won the World Series than Shaughnessy's whole craptastic reverse the curse stuff. Brazel, 4 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Yeah, Murray. Yep. I mean, Shaughnessy, as someone said the other day, would take the fun out of losing your virginity. Preacher Rowe, three hitter through 5, and the solo shot. He has struck out 2. So halfway home, we've only had 2 walks in the game. Bill Madden's probably on that list too. When Dan was younger, back in the 80s, he was a delight to read. You buy the Sunday Globe to read the sports section. Clearly one of the best 5 in the country. But Shaughnessy has been jaded a long, long time. Ryan's pretty much retired now, taking that TV money. Carl Furillo is single twice. He's 2 for 2. Into right field, Musial, 1 out. Makes a great play. In fact, he skidded along the track and the hill. It is still raining just a little bit. Now, you can't get rainouts, but you can have rain delays. Cardinals are going to think that Jackie Robinson's going to bunt here. Guess what I'm not doing? He's 1 for 1. He is singled and walked. Pitch to Robinson. There's a line drive into left field. That's a single for Jackie. And that's the 10th Dodger hit. Brings up Gil Hodges, who's 1 for 2. Has singled. Robinson on first. Bottom of the 5th. Of course, Hal Bodley, Hall of Fame writer from Dayton. We lost Pedro Gomez over the weekend, who was one of the better reporters at ESPN at the young age of 58. Pitch to or throw to first, Robinson back. But personally, the sporting news hasn't been relevant in 20 years. I would name it after Gammons. I'd like to see and the Ford Frick thing. I mean, who's going to know that Ford Frick wasn't an announcer? Name it after Scully or Barber. Have those awards. I mean, Vin would never accept that, but have it named after someone who brought something to the field. God knows, no, not Bob Costas. Hodges 1 for 2. And there's a ground ball up the middle of base hit. Robinson will hold at second. Kind of shallow to try to advance, especially with Snyder at the plate. Graham McNamee would be appropriate as well. And again, it kind of goes with the whole Hall of Fame thing, because Graham was the first one to do national baseball broadcasting. Ty Tyson, an early one, too. JT just enjoys what Ryan brought on the shows that mostly ESPN does, the Sports Century documentaries. Yes. But it should go to Scully. But I can't imagine that as long as Vinny's alive that they would do that. Vinny would never accept that. Pitch to Snyder is popped up. Center field. That's going way back there. D-Ring looks, and that's gone. Oh, that just kept rising and rising and rising, and when it landed, that was in the upper deck. It's now 5-1 Brooklyn. Oh my goodness. And 1,000 free luckies to the Warner Avenue Armory in Albany, New York. You guys, as part of the third mechanized, deserve a lucky strike today. No, that ball was hammered. And for Snyder, that's his 10th. Here's Campanella. He homered in the second. He's 1 for 2. Pitch to Roy. There's a liner into left field. That will drop for a hit. Brazel's going to wish his arm was still hurt. So 5 runs to 1 to Brooklyn. 13 hits to 3. Mixis is 1 for 2. There's a ground ball to Marion. Flips it to Shane Dienst for 1. Over to Jones. That should be 2. And it is. But the Dodgers get 3 more. Courtesy of the home run by Duke Snyder. We go to the 6th, 5-1. YouTube is great for the older announcers. Big Clue is doing it. What are you testing this afternoon? Oh, for your baseball classics. Yeah, let me know how that goes. Brazel is 0 for 1. Let's see if the Cardinals bat him. Pitch count-wise, he's only at 65. Yep, the Dodgers indeed have battled Brazel. They've left 6 on. To short, Reese, 1 out. So here's the lineups for Big Clue's test game. On the red team, Tony Oliva will play right. Jose Altuve will bat second and play second. Josh Hamilton in left field. Willie Stargell, the DH, cleans up. Gil Hodges at first. Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, who was 1 day older than I am, behind the plate. Dick Grote at short, Vada Pinson in center, and Stan Hack at third. Denny McLain, who you can bet on, is the starting pitcher. D-Ring is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Rowe threw 18 batters, 57 pitches. 5 1/3 innings. 3 hits, the home run to Jones, and struck out 2. And there's a liner into the wall and right. That's going to get down for extra bases. It takes a bounce away from Furillo, and Deering is on second with his 7th double of the year. So that brings up Shane Dienst, who's 0 for 2. I'll give you the blue team lineup in a moment. Pitch to Shane Dienst is a ground ball to Reese. Looks Deering back to the bag, throws to first for the out, as Deering goes to third. So 2 out and a runner on third from Musial. Stan is 0 for 2. The blue team, Brooks Robinson, I'm assuming, is at third, not Hubie Brooks. Unless, correct me if I'm wrong. Jeff Bagwell will play first. Norm Cash the DH. Bill Dickey cleans up behind the plate. Robin Yount at short. Darryl Strawberry in right. Dom DiMaggio in center. Frank Howard in left Hondo, with Frank White at second. Corey Kluber will be pitching against Denny McLean. You can tell us about it tomorrow night when we're on at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for the Red Sox and the Indians. Pitch to Musial. Ball 4. So Preacher looks skyward and gets a knifeful of rain. Wind blowing out to right center now by that flagpole at 13. Kasich, 0 for 2. And there's a base hit right center field. Deering will score. Musial goes to third. Kasich has a double. Kind of late for that. So it's 5 to 2, and Sauer the tying run. I hate intentional walks, especially this early. Especially since Rowe's been dealing. But there does seem to be that one inning when, like in real life, when a pitcher kind of loses the script. Pitch to Sauer. Got him! We don't walk better, son. 1-2. Swing and a miss on an 81-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 run. 2 hits and 2 left on. Bottom of the 6th, 5-2 Brooklyn. So here's the Preacher. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Brazel deals, and there's a ground ball to Marion. Over the first, 1 out. So Brazel through 27 batters, just 66 pitches, 5 in the 3rd innings. 13 hits, 3 homers, 2 to Snyder. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Pee Wee is 2 for 3. He is singled, doubled, but has not scored. There's another base hit, this time in the left field, and that's the 14th hit for the Dodgers. Brings up McCormick. Mike is 0 for 3. He is the lone batter outside of Rowe to not reach base in this game. Everyone else has at least 1 hit. Popped up, right side, Jones, 2 out. Here's Furillo, he's 2 for 3. And so McCormick now 0 for 4, and that would be the metaphysical equivalent of Charlie Brown at Halloween just getting a rock. Lucy got the 3 Musketeers. What's Charlie Brown get? A rock. Throw to first, Peavy back. Pitch to Furillo. There's a fly ball to right. Stands there at the base of the scoreboard. No, you can't kick the Abe Stark sign for a suit. Doesn't work that way. 1 hit, and they leave him on. We go to the 7th, 5-2 Brooklyn. So here's Marty Marion. He has doubled. He's 1 for 2 and struck out. And this time around, a ground ball to Hodges. Takes it to the bag himself, 1 away. Nippy Jones is 2 for 2. A single and a solo shot. Cards have singletons in the 5th and the 6th. The Dodgers, 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 5th. In the left field, McCormick will juggle and make the catch. He played hot potato with it, bobbled it, grabbed it barehanded out there, and sheepishly throws that back in. So the Cardinals can't catch a break there. That'll bring up Del Rice, who's 0 for 2. Rowe deals. Liner to right. That's going to be a base hit all the way down the line. That's his 7th double of the year. And the Cardinals have a runner in scoring position, 2 out for Brazel, who is 0 for 2. Pitch count-wise, he's staying in the ball game. Pitch performance-wise, there should be a pinch hitter here. Stays in the ball game. A little nubber down to Hodges. Underhands it to Rowe, and that will retire the side. Stretch time, 5-2. So a last call for a Schaefer. Here's Robinson. Jackie is 2 for 2. He has singled twice and scored. Into right field, Musial. 1 out. Excuse me. Gil Hodges is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and scored. Wife and I had a nice date anniversary lunch. I had a ham and cheese croissant with some Dijon mustard, some fresh lettuce, some tomato, and a pickle. Pitch to Hodges is a little number past Shane Dienst, and that's going to draw a single. That's the 15th hit for the Dodgers. That brings up Snyder. Both of the balls he has made contact with today have found the seats or scored runs. A solo shot in the second, a walk in the third, and a 3-run bomb in the fifth. He now has 28 RBI and 10 home runs. This time around, he pops it up. Marion on the grass, 2 out. For Campanella, Roy 2 for 3. Solo shot to left and a single. And grounded into a double play. This time around, he grounds one to third, over to Shane Dienst for the force, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit. Runner left on. We go to the 8th, 5-2 Brooklyn. So, Preacher, 27 batters, 87 pitches, 7 innings, 6 hits, the solo shot to Jones, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Deering doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. There's a ground ball to Mixis. 1 out. Cardinals are with you on Thursday at noon as they travel up to Boston to play the Braves. Here's Shane Dienst. Red is 0 for 3. And there's a liner in the center field. That's a base hit. Snyder picks it up. Only the 7th Cardinal hit. Here's Stan the Man. If you read the outcome box, the batting average here is 242. So I wouldn't walk him here either. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to Reese. Should be 2. Robinson for 1 on the stab. The throw to Hodges. Did they get him? No. But they get the lead runner at second as Pee Wee commits highway robbery. Deep in the hole. Underhanded it to Jackie for the out, and they nearly got Stanley. So here's Kasich, 1 for 3. He has doubled and drove in a run. In the left center field, Snyder makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit. The Cardinals leave a runner on. Bottom 8, 5-2 Brooklyn. What was my final on my PSF the other night? Well, that's on YouTube. And the team that did not win on Sunday won. Kansas City won. It was I forget what the final score was. They covered. It was a good game. Mahomes just did in my game what he couldn't do in the real game. He just kept converting on 3rd and long. I think he honestly converted 4 third and at least 6 plays. So yeah, everything's up on Twitch for 2 weeks. And everything goes over to YouTube 24 hours after. It live streams here, so. Is that because I get paid by Twitch? That's the deal. 16-10, Mark says. Okay, so yeah. I got the under part right. Pitch to Mixus is 1 for 3. There's a little looper in the left field for a base hit. Sauer should have had that one. And that's the 16th hit for the Dodgers. Preacher Rowe's going to stay in the ball game. He's 0 for 3. He's not going to bunt with a 3-1 lead in the 8th. It's a ground ball to Breezel over to first, and it does the job anyway. Mixus moves to second. Here's Pee Wee Reese. He is 3 for 4. He has singled twice and doubled. Breezel, 88 pitches through 36 batters. 7 1/3 innings. 16 hits. That's a whip of 24.55. 3 homers. All 5 runs are earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. And that is a shot into center field that's long, long gone. Pee Wee, that's his 4th hit of the ball game. He sent that one to the Bronx. That was still rising when it hit the second deck. It's 7-2. I mean, that one was launched. So that's the 5th of the year for Pee Wee. And that was anything but a Pee Wee shot. Here's McCormick again. He's 0 for 4. And he still can't get in on the act. D-Ring will make the catch, and there's 2 out. So, yep, your team gets 17 hits, and you go 0 for 5. Oof. Here's Ferrello. Carl is 2 for 4. Has singled twice. Into left field, and that's gone. So the Dodgers are essentially putting on batting practice right now. It's 8-2. Breezel has allowed 5 home runs on the afternoon. And the beauty, if you're a Cardinal fan, is tomorrow's just another day. 1 game does not a season make. Not on the 1st of June. But the Dodger fans are happy. Here's Jackie Robinson. He's 2 for 3. He has singled twice, walked, and scored. Into center field, D-Ring, and that's going back there. Gone! The 6th home run for the Dodgers. And Robinson's 4th of the year makes it 9-2. You gotta wonder, did the computer fall asleep? Kind of like the chat. Here's Jackie's home run. For 1949, 6 home runs in a game. Well, if you're like a White Sox fan, that's half a season. The ball is flying out of Ebbets today. They've got a 4 spot on the board here in the 8th. Here's Hodges. He's 3 for 4. They singled 3 times and scored once. That's a liner to center, and that's a base hit. And so that's the 20th hit for the Dodgers. Brazil, his average against him has jumped up to 275. Here's Duke Snider. He's 2 for 3. He's had 2 homers and driven in 4. Into left field for the out. And that will retire the side. 4 runs on 5 hits in a fireworks show that would make Macy's jealous on the 4th of July. We go to the 9th, 9-2 Brooklyn. So Rowe can just kind of sit on the mound and get his 3 outs. Here's Sauer, he's 0 for 3. Marion and Jones to follow, and Rice, should anybody reach. Ground ball to Robinson, 1 out. So the Red Sox and Indians tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Here's Marion. Marnie 1 for 3. He has doubled and struck out once. Popped up on the infield. Pee Wee, 2 out. So sorry that Lorenzo wasn't able to be with us today. An easy win for the Dodgers. And they will now be 5-2 against the Cardinals on the year, with 15 games to go between the two teams. Here's Nippy Jones. He's 2 for 3. Hit a solo shot. Last chance for the Cardinals. And we'll have a pinch hitter, Tommy Glaviano. Tommy, at 194 with 5 RBI. Trying to extend the ball game. Into left field. That might have been the right call. Back goes McCormick, and it's a goner. What in the name of Wrigley Field have we got going on here? These two teams have combined for 8 homers. That one got hung off over the middle of the plate, and Glaviano has his first of the year. So 2 out for Rice, who's 1 for 3 with a double. Liner to Pee Wee, and that will do it. So the Dodgers win 9-3. Eight home runs in the game. The Dodgers 9 runs, 20 hits, and no errors. The Cardinals 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Brazil falls to 3-3. He gave up all 20 hits and all 6 homers. And Humpty Dumpty couldn't put that one back together again. Preacher Rose goes to 6-1. 9 innings. Thanks, JT. 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and 2 homers. Duke Snider, your digital dice player of the game, 2 for 4, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. And so let's play the rest of the day in baseball, shall we? On this June 1st, the Giants beat the Cubs 8-4. Hansen goes to 3-2. Schmitz falls to 3-6. Emil Verban 4 for 5, a 2 RBI and a double. The Senators beat the Browns 9-6 and 10. Welteroth goes to 3-1. Shore falls to 2-1. Robertson 5 for 6, 2 RBI and 2 doubles. Tigers shut out the A's 6-0 behind Virgil Trucks. He walked 2 and struck out 6. He goes to 7-1. Coleman falls to 5-3. Robinson 2 for 4, his 3rd home run of the year, and drove in 4. Indians behind Bob Feller beat the Red Sox 5-4. Mickey Harris takes the loss. Feller goes to 4-2. Ted Williams, his 12th of the year, he drives in 3. The Reds win on the road for the 3rd time all year. They beat the Phillies 3-1. Fox goes to 3-5. Bowery falls to 6-1. And Blackwell picks up a 2nd save. The Braves pound the Pirates 10-1. Vern Bickford goes to 5-3. Lombardi takes his first decision of the year, a loss. And Conitzer goes 4 for 5. At Comiskey Park, last but not least, the White Sox beat the Yankees 3-1. Judson, his first one of the year, 1-1. Vic Raschi takes a loss. He goes 4-4. Tipton, his first of the year. He goes 2 for 4. And so the standings, as we leave you, the Phillies still have a half-game lead over the Cardinals, who lead by percentage points. Then the Giants are 2.5. Brooklyn is now 3. Boston 6. In the AL, the Yankees lead the Senators by half a game. Cleveland by 5. Detroit 6. Philadelphia 6.5. And the Red Sox are looking at Montreal. So there you have it. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll tape Digital Dice for you at lunchtime tomorrow-ish. And then be back with you tomorrow night for the Red Sox and the Indians right here. If it's good, it's on Retro Sports Network. So long, everybody.